Hello, everyone. This is the Mindset Change video series. And today we are going to be talking about one very interesting thing, and that is expectation. I know that most of us don't think that expectation will help us to propel us to where we want to get to. But we need to discover and realize that when we change our minds, a lot of things around us change. And when a lot of things around us change, that means that our expectation also changes, our behavior also changes, our conduct also changes, our presentation also changes. All these changes come out because of the mindset change. Now, when we have changed our mindset, um, there is a certain way that we now behave in order for us to attract the things that we want. And one of the things that, for example, I will use, for example, the people of the Christian faith that, when they go to church, they go to church expecting to be blessed. They go to church expecting to receive. But it's not only the people of the Christian faith, but anyone who has got faith. When they have faith, their faith propels them to expect something to happen to them or expect something good to happen to them. But dare I say that, be it our faith is in the negative sense or in the positive sense, whatever it is that we are expecting will come our way. So when we're expecting good things to happen to us, those good things will happen to us. When we're expecting bad things to happen to us, bad things will happen to us. And people may ask me and say, but what do you mean people will expect bad things to happen? Now, it is in the kind of the thinking that we have that produces the speaking that we have. For example, some people will say that I know that I would have proposed that girl, but that girl, I know that she will say no. Or already, even before we have approached the girl, we have already said no ourselves. Some people may want an increase in their pay, and then they want to approach the management or the leadership and say that we want to ask for an increase. But while they are walking towards the management or while they are planning to go to the management, they give themselves defeating statements that well, the manager will say there's no money, the manager will say we can't promote you, or we can't give you an increment because there is no money, or because this company is struggling. But when that is the negative thinking. But of course, when we are thinking in a positive sense, we approach the situation with the expectation that the situation will be favorable to us. We're expecting the situation to support us and to support our behavior. And now, these things that we are talking about in terms of expectation come about as a result of the way we carry our body, the way we carry ourselves, the way we speak, and the way we look, and the way we present. All those things add up. And when a person looks at you, they see that you are already convinced that this thing that you are looking for, this thing that you are asking for, you believe that you are going to get it. You believe that you are entitled to it, and because you believe that you are entitled to it, they are not going to dismiss you like that. They will take you seriously. And for example, if it is the managers, they are not going to say, well, there's no money, or this company does not have money. But they will say, we are going to consider it, we are going to talk about it, we are going to think about it. And so when they have committed themselves to think about it, when they have committed themselves to talk about it, next time you come back, there will be some dialogue or some discussion in order for you to get the things that you want. But maybe let's not talk about things like money or things that we can get from other people, but we want things that we can get from the universe, things that we can get from the Spirit of God. For example, when we are praying to God, when we are asking to receive from the universe. For example, let's think of someone maybe wanting to set up a business. Some people will self-defeat and say that, well, I can't start a business because I don't have money. I can't start a business because I don't have the experience. I can't start a business because I don't have the knowledge. But at the same time, some people will say, I will start a business even if I do not have the money. I will find the money. Some people will say, I will start the business even if I don't have the knowledge. I will find the knowledge. And believe me or not, there is so much knowledge out there, in order for us to get into whatever business we want to get into. But when we say we don't have the knowledge, we're already saying we are not even going to try to look for that knowledge. So when we convince ourselves that we want to do whatever it is that we want to do, we set out then and begin to do that thing that we want to be or that we want to do. So when we begin to do those things, the steps may be small, the steps may be insignificant, but they all add up at the end of the day. Because when we have a piece of knowledge today, a piece of knowledge tomorrow, a piece of knowledge the other day, all those pieces of knowledge, when they are put together, they come up with something. That means we have begun somewhere. So, in other words, we can go back to the story of Mandela that the journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. So, the one step towards our business or towards whatever it is that we want to achieve begins with us doing that little thing, and those little things will eventually add up. But what will propel us to want to do those things or to be able to do those things? The propeller is the expectation. I am expecting that one day I will be able to do this, that one day I will have this thing that I'm looking for. It may not come tomorrow, it may not come the day after tomorrow, but I'm working towards it. And so we become that thing, or we begin to work towards that thing. And so when we begin to work whatever it is towards whatever it is that we want, and then we are beginning to attract those things, or we're beginning to attract the knowledge. For example, especially the knowledge bit. When we start talking about or inquiring about a certain area of expertise, let's just say, for example, I'm just thinking of people that do charity organizations. They'll say, I want to learn how to run a charity and help my community or help my people. You begin to ask around, you begin to read around, you begin to look for information, and as you look for that information, as you ask questions, people will ask you questions. Why do you want this information? And then, of course, you explain why you want that information, and eventually you'll find people that say, okay, we can help you. We have got this piece of information, we've got that piece of information, we have that piece of information, and all that information that you have done, that has increased your knowledge. So that is the beginning, or that is your foundation. So when you have the knowledge, you now have the power to be able to run the business that you say you want to run, or you now have the power to be able to run the charity that you want to run. So when you go out then to get that information, you must go out with expectation. You must go out propelled by the expectation. I want to give an example here of 6 men that went out to pray for rain. And when they went out to pray for rain on the agreed date and agreed time, when they got there, only one man out of the 6 was carrying an umbrella. The one man that was carrying an umbrella went to pray for rain, expecting that the rain was going to come. Then the other 5 men went to pray for rain. For them, it was just a formality. But this one man was expecting that after he had prayed for the rain would come. So he was propelled by his expectations. As he set off to go and meet up with his friends, he was sure that what he was going to ask for was going to come, and the universe was going to give him that thing that he was asking for. And in this particular case, they were asking for the rain. I can give you another example of a child I read about on internet. This child was not very well and was being looked after by a nurse. And this child, the nurse went to do shopping, and when the nurse came back, the nurse did not or had not bought bananas. And so this child said, "Did you buy bananas?" The nurse said, "We didn't buy bananas, but we have bought all the other fruits." Then the child said, "I want bananas." The nurse said, "Well, there's no one to bring you bananas now." Then the child went, turned back and began to pray and said, "God, I'm praying for bananas, and I want to have bananas by the end of the day today." And so the nurse overheard the child praying. Of course, the nurse laughed, thinking that the child was just doing child play. But the child had made a serious request. So the child, towards the end of the day, the child asked her, "When does today end?" And so the nurse told her that the day end when you go to sleep. But the child did not say, when does today end? And so the nurse eventually realized the child was asking, when is the 24-hour up? And so the nurse told the child, well, it's at 12 midnight today. And so the child said, it's okay. So my bananas will come today. At bedtime, the child asked, have the bananas come yet? The bananas had not come. So the nurse said, it's time for you to go to bed. The child went to bed. And the child woke up around about 9:30. The bananas were still not there. And the nurse said, go back to bed. The child went back to bed. And round about 11:30 at night, the nurse had a knock at the door, and apparently it was the community pastor and his wife. They said that we felt that we should come and see you and just find out how the child is doing. Is the child okay? And the nurse said the child was fine. And then so as the pastor was going out, his wife said, "Well, we had brought some bananas here for that we had at home. So here you can have them. You can give them to the child." Now that was about 12:30, 11:30, quarter to 12 in the middle of the night. So the child's bananas did come. Why did the bananas come? They came because the child expected the bananas to come. And so we must have that kind of faith. That kind of faith must be propelled by our expectation. So, expectation is number one in our lives. Expectation must be seen in our presentation. Expectation must be within us. Expectation must be us. When we are expecting something, that's something that we're expecting, it will come to pass, as they say. So, I just want to leave you with this one to consider this one expectation, because you can say you want this thing to happen, you wish this thing to happen, you wish that thing to happen, but without you expecting it to happen and behaving like we expect it to happen and presenting like we're expecting to happen, nothing is going to happen. So expectation is number one. It is connected to your belief. Whatever it is that you believe is going to come, it is connected. Your belief is going to be brought to pass by your expectation. So expectation, I'm leaving that one with you today. Thank you very much. See you on the next video. Yeah, that was good. Yeah. Oh, okay.